The Romulans appear to be engaged in battle, Captain. Vigo, raise the shields. The Captain. Captain Ruhalter is down. Medical team to the bridge. Emergency. I'm taking command. Bring us about. Full impulse, get us some distance. Open a channel to that ship. Attention, unidentified vessel. I am Captain Picard of the Federation ship Stargazer. You are entering Federation territory. Return at once to Romulan space. Good. We're in no real condition to fight anyway. We need to reach Starbase 61. Tax the engines as hard as you have to, but we must get there quickly. Do we still have sensors, Vigo? What about stellar debris? Give me a bearing. Best possible speed to Starbase 61. Open a channel to them. We're going to need more ships. Acting Captain's log. Supplemental. Captain Ruhalter is dead. After reaching Starbase 61, we discovered only 3 other Federation starships are present in the system. We have very few resources to aid us in this catastrophe, but we'll have to make whatever we do have count twice over. We cannot allow any of those massive fragments to strike the planets in this system. If they do, millions of lives could be lost and the planets rendered uninhabitable for decades. The sensor arrays in the system will be able to alert us as to the speed and course of the fragments as they enter range. Let's use this time to reduce the amount of debris entering the area of the planets and the starbase. Stargazer out. Excellent. We should be able to set this fragment on a collision course with the large stellar debris to break it up. We fragmented the largest piece, but the resulting stellar debris is still on course for Phidian 3. Continue targeting the remaining pieces. It's imperative that we destroy them before they can hit the planet. Our efforts have paid off today. All of the stellar fragments have been destroyed. We've managed to avert a disaster, and you all have done splendid work here. Well done. Captain's log, Stardate 10374.8. This is my first entry as the captain of a starship, though I wish my command bars hadn't come with such a high cost. With the loss of Captain Ruhalter and several of my crewmates, I grieve for us all. However, they died holding up the highest traditions of Starfleet, proudly doing their best to rise to a challenge and overcome great odds. Our friends and comrades will be missed. I will endeavor to be a captain worthy of such a fine crew and such a fine ship. I do regret that Starfleet has been unable to determine the whereabouts of the vessel which brought the Romulans to our doorstep. But perhaps, in time, we'll be able to piece together what really happened here today in an effort to give it meaning. Captain's log, Stardate 45252.8. Starfleet has ordered the Enterprise and 3 other Federation starships to the Itarian Nebula in response to a disturbing report from one of our vessels undertaking a routine training flight in the area. With little intelligence to go on and no sign of the Defiant, we have begun an intensive scan of the surrounding area to discover what may have happened to her. Our chief engineer says all our systems are functioning properly. However, we seem to be unable to create a stable warp field. Sensors indicate this system is littered with objects that are giving off inverse graviton bursts. They seem to be having a destabilizing effect on our warp fields. We're also detecting something. A faint signal coming from within the nebula. It seems to be a Federation transponder. We should move to investigate. Enterprise. It's a Federation disaster beacon. There's an encoded message hidden within the carrier. Full sensor scan long range. Our warp bubble is now almost completely enveloping the ship. My engineer believes we have destroyed half of the emitters necessary for us to regain warp drive. Keep targeting the remaining emitters. There she is. Sensors have detected the Defiant within the shield perimeter of the Romulan base. No life signs are aboard. They must have taken the crew to the station. We'll have to get them back. Prepare away teams. But first, we'll have to bring the Romulan station shields down. Engaging warp engines. New targets entering sector. Excellent. Their shields are down. Away teams, stand by. Transporter room, energize. Understood. Keep a lock on them at all times, Chief. I want them back as soon as they've rescued the Defiant's crew. We can't drop our shield to beam you aboard until we've destroyed our attackers. Captain's personal log, Stardate 57327.8. The wheel is come full circle. There has been a great adjustment on the Enterprise with the loss of Commander Data, and with Will Riker's and Deanna's new postings. Amid so many new personnel, I feel, at times, alone. I fear the legacy of this vessel is coming to an end, though I know she will carry on long after I am gone. For my part, I don't want this to be the last page of my journey aboard this ship. My ship. My latest assignment has me confronting a problem the Federation has dealt with since its founding. One I may very well have set in motion. Is this the promised end? And I am Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Forgive me, madam, but that is not my name. I see no change in the collective. An armada of Borg vessels looms above a Federation planet, which usually means ill intent. We? Don't you mean I? Look what has become of you. The Borg have changed you, altered you. Is it not illogical to force these changes, as you define them, upon others? Responsible? Is that how you would define the deaths of the thousands you have sacrificed in pursuit of your personal paradise? Tyrell, if you truly control the collective, then let it be sundered. Free the millions of souls who have been taken by the Borg. You are still Vulcan. Don't let them take that from you as well. There is no true Vulcan left within her. She won't stop until every planet has become the paradise she desires. To all ships, the Borg have begun their assault in the Aurelius region. I have ordered that all Federation civilians in this system be evacuated to Starbase 127. To that end, we will provide protection to the transports carrying those people to safety. But we won't be able to hold the line indefinitely. Harassing the cubes may provide enough of a distraction to allow more transports to be launched, but ultimately, this system will be overrun. Every second counts. Godspeed, and keep your wits about you. Picard out. Enterprise. The Borg cubes have begun their assault on Aurelia. Stay on alert. They are coming for us. Engage. Borg cubes are assimilating another planet. The civilians there are helpless without our intervention. Borg vessel destroyed. The Borg cubes have begun their assault on Aurelia. Stay on alert. They are coming for us. We've lost one of the planets to the Borg. All civilian vessels from that planet have been assimilated. Prepare to return fire. Now we have their attention. With a cube destroyed, they'll consider us a threat. Be ready. Borg cubes are assimilating another planet. The civilians there are helpless without our intervention. Prepare to return fire. Mission accomplished. The majority of the people on those planets have been rescued and are transferring to warp-capable ships at the starbase. We'll cover their retreat. Captain's personal log supplemental. Our ruse has drawn out Tyrell and the task force she commands. The Klingon and Romulan fleets have successfully lured the other elements of her Borg forces to this more defensible position above Bajor. The Bajorans have graciously offered the services of Deep Space Nine, recognizing the tactical importance of this region. Our fleets, however, are scattered across this system, engaging the enemy. If we are to hold them here and possibly turn this engagement into an advantage, we must bring the fleets together. Our first order of business must be to secure Deep Space Nine and use its might to keep the Borg off balance. If it falls, so do all our chances of equalizing the odds. As for Tyrell, time shall unfold what plated cunning hides. Enterprise to the fleet. All attack squadrons will form up and engage the Borg attacking Deep Space Nine and our Klingon friends. Remember to keep clear of the station's field of fire. Good luck. Preferably the former, General Menvek. Thanks to your swift action, Deep Space Nine has been secured. You have earned great honor for your house, but we still have to marshal the other forces in the system. Our long-range sensors have detected 3 battlefronts. 2 Romulan fleets are fighting Borg vessels on opposite sides of the system, while the remaining Klingon forces are also engaged in a fleet action at a 3rd location. Engage. Contact your ships, General Menvek. Let them know we are here to help them fight our common enemy. Romulan fleet, we have come to aid you. And I hail your bravery, Sub-Commander. Holding the Borg ships here has given us a chance to clear the area around the station. It took a great deal of courage to hold your ground. We still have work to do. Are you prepared to move out? Romulan fleet, this is the Federation starship Enterprise. What is your status? Excellent. We must move immediately to assist the other fleets throughout the system. We are picking up subspace distortions. Conduits are forming. Sorry, that word is not in Starfleet's vocabulary. If this is to be our end, then we will die with our individuality intact. Enterprise to the fleet. Move forward and target at will. This battle isn't over yet, General. Tyrell's been defeated here, but there is still another battle in the offing. Picard to fleet. Pursuit course. Engage at maximum warp. Captain's log supplemental. With the help of our former allies, we were able to force Tyrell's collective into retreat from Deep Space Nine. While the Klingons believe this is a sign of victory, I am a bit more cautious. Without the support of DS9, we lose the advantage of choosing the time and place of our engagement. However, the alternative of letting Tyrell escape so she can replenish her drones and ships would be foolhardy. We have no choice but to pursue her to whatever ground she has chosen for this final confrontation. There she is. I can see why she's chosen this sector to make her stand. Sensors indicate that area has high concentration of polaric ion energy. Tyrell isn't going to make this easy. It will be a hunt to the last. And unstable or not, she seems to have harnessed the power of this nebula effectively. I've never seen that kind of shield configuration before. There are similarities between regenerative shielding we've encountered in the past, but this is much more complex. I agree. There is no sense in leaving the only safe haven in the sector. I'm not sure. It seems like some kind of subspace rift. Admiral, is there any way to close this conduit? My chief engineer is working on the problem, Admiral. But our first concern must be dealing with these new arrivals. Some of the ships coming through the conduit aren't registering on our sensors as active. Their power matrix readings are highly unstable. This conduit must be having some undesirable side effects on those vessels. I'd stay clear of them, as they are likely to self-destruct. Admiral, you've encountered one of these before. What can we expect? Excellent suggestion, Praetus. Enterprise to all Allied vessels. Bring your weapons to bear on the tactical cube. Let's see if we can't get this nut to crack. The cube has been destroyed. Good work, everyone. Our engineers have been working, and I believe we have a plan. We've called in the USS Scott. It should arrive here momentarily. Excellent, Scott. We'll make the necessary modifications via remote link. Understood. Picard out. We're modifying these sensor pods the Scott brought to emit a magneton pulse. Yes, but we've been experimenting with ways to adapt the magneton field to block certain types of subspace ruptures at their point of formation. An anti-subspace weapon, if you will. We thought it might come in handy someday. That day appears to have arrived. We'll have to get each one to a specific location on the two opposite ends of the string. Once they're in place, we can activate the pulse. You said it yourself, Admiral. I get all the easy assignments. We've reached the optimum deployment zone for the first sensor pod. Disengaging tractor beam. First sensor pod is in position. Beginning power-up procedures. Borg vessels approaching. Maximum warp. Initiating auto-start sequence. Start-up sequences have been finalized. We're bringing the sensor pod's pulse generators online now. Events have certainly changed in our favor, but we haven't beaten her yet. Our sensors are reading increased activity within the dormant Borg vessels. She's bringing them out of regeneration. Prepare to engage the remaining Borg ships. Tyrell cannot be allowed to escape. Captain's log, stardate 57332.5. Victory. Though we have thwarted Tyrell's master plan, a victory begs the question, where do we go from here? The Borg have once again left us picking up the pieces, honoring our dead, and hoping for the future. My responsibility here is inescapable. The ripples in the water are a consequence of my actions. However, I have come to live with an understanding that all things have a bane, and this one The Borg haunt me the most. I could hear Tyrell in her final moments calling out to me. Whether it was the Vulcan or Borg in my mind, I wonder which we destroyed and which one was set free.